There is a scene in the Devi Mahatmyam from Markandeya Puran where an endless ocean stretches beyond all directions. Neither there is a beginning nor an end. Time and space have not yet unfolded. Upon those still waters lies the serpent Ananta, coiled infinitely, and upon that serpent reclines Lord Vishnu, absorbed in Yoga Nidra, the deep sleep of creation, Shakti's power of concealment, the veil of Mahamaya herself. In this sleep, consciousness does not get lost. It gathers back into her womb. This is the realm of Mahakali, where the goddess is unmanifest Shakti. Mahakali is not merely a battle goddess, as we see in the story of Raktabija, but she is the active face of the end of time before this present creation, the great night before rebirth. She is even called Mahamari, the great pestilence, the all-consuming fire. Yet, she is continuously the source of new creation. So she is this womb of death as well as the mother of rebirth. When Lord Vishnu is resting on Ananta, it reveals that consciousness does not fight tamas. It rests upon it. Tamas is Mahakali's nature. She is pre-thought, pre-form. The universe arises from this thick, silent fullness of the Divine Mother. Sattva, clarity. Rajas, activity. And Tamas, rest. These are not moral qualities. These are the three modalities of the same Shakti. She is their play. Traya Guna Vibhag, the threefold weaving of her own force. From within the darkness of that great night, something begins to stir. The veil of Mahakali begins to loosen. A subtle pulse arises. Spanda, the first vibration of awareness. Vishnu's eyes, half opened, reflect the first dawn of awareness. A lotus rises from his navel, and upon it, the mind of Brahma takes form. Lord Brahma himself is powerless. He cannot create because Lord Vishnu, the sustaining consciousness, is asleep. The whole cosmos is submerged in the tamas of Mahakali. Then two demons, Madhu and Katabha, are born from the earwax of the sleeping Lord Vishnu. This is when Lord Brahma is threatened. He begins to pray to Mahamaya, who is at that time manifest as Lord Vishnu's Yoga Nidra, his cosmic sleep. Lord Brahma is Natamastak, bowed in humility, praying to Mahamaya to loosen her veil so that Lord Vishnu may awaken. She is very graceful. She grants it. And when Lord Vishnu awakens, it's not that he has conquered tamas. It's the tamas that released him. This episode is being shared by sage Medhas to two seekers. The first one is Suratha, who was a powerful king of a large kingdom but is now cast from his throne. The other one is Samadhi, who was a wealthy merchant who got betrayed by his family members and his friends. These two seekers had come to sage Medhas with one question: that we know, we are aware that we have lost everything that we had and we must not be attached to it. But we are still clinging to our past even though it is causing us so much pain. The sage begins with a meditation on Mahakali, the tamasic aspect of the goddess, to show that this suffering is not a personal fault but a part of the cosmic order. We are all born into this long dark night. Life itself began in those dark waters, moving blindly through the primordial depths, suspended in the mother's womb. Slowly, creatures crawled onto land, and the spine began to rise. Every awakening follows this pattern, from this dark ocean of Mahakali to the upright stance of consciousness. The mother veils that realm in three modes of night. Kalaratri, the dark night of time, the night that follows every cosmic day when Brahma rests and the universe folds back into the absolute. Maharatri, the great night that arrives at the end of Brahma's lifespan when even the gods are drawn back into the source. Moharatri, the night of delusion, the long shadowed night in which most beings live, bound by attachment, ignorance, and forgetfulness of their own divinity. The sage is telling the seekers that before you can act, you must know the night you are in, the nature of the tamas that you are passing through. If you do not know your night, your action will be blind. Knowing your night is the beginning of your awakening. Brahma, seated on Lord Vishnu's navel, is the creator. Yes, but he is the archetype of intellect, our own power to shape, order, and imagine. From that darkness of Lord Vishnu's sleep, two demons, Madhu and Kaitabha, arise. These are the first impulses of craving and aggression that seek to seize creation even before it begins. Brahma, the mind, calls out to awaken awareness. But even the mind cannot pierce the mother's veil, for that sleep that covers Lord Vishnu's eyes is Mahamaya herself. So Brahma does what reason must finally do when it meets its own limit. He prays to the mother, to Mahamaya. We cannot think our way out of delusion. We need grace. With her grace, Lord Vishnu awakens and faces Madhu and Kaitabha. For 5,000 years, this struggle goes on, symbolizing the long battle with our own internal demons and our own shadow. The demons swell with arrogance. Their egos are so inflated that they cannot imagine defeat. And so they boast to Lord Vishnu and say, "Ask us for a boon." Lord Vishnu seizes that moment. He asks for the boon of their deaths. But these demons are still grasping for power. So they set a condition: kill us only where the earth is not covered by water. So Lord Vishnu lifts the demons onto his thighs, the foundation of our body, and slays them there. The body's foundation, his thigh, becomes this altar upon which ignorance is undone. With the demons destroyed, creation can now proceed. The text is brief here. It does not linger on this victory because the point of this chapter is meditation on Mahakali. The path to Shakti begins with surrendering to the tamasic nature of Mahakali. The next Charita, Mahishasura Mardini, shows us the Rajasic expression of the same Shakti, Goddess Durga's fiery manifestation in action. But that expression of Shakti is only possible because first the Tamasic expression of Mahakali was embraced. Thank you so much for joining me in this exploration. If this video nourished you in any way, please give it a like and share it with your friends and family members. You can support my work by joining my YouTube memberships. And if you are new here, definitely subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you in the next video.